I think the simple answer is I don't think so, based on the fact that some people can drink a lot of alcohol and take a lot of drugs, and given a sufficient reason, they can stop or moderate their behaviour. And again, I think this is where society can go a little bit wrong. I think they sort of treat everybody like non-addicts, but they seem to have this idea that people can just stop drinking and taking drugs. We get that with a lot of families, where they think if this person just stops taking drugs or just stops drinking, then everything's going to be all right. That they're believing that the drink and the drugs are the problem, where we believe they have a mental condition that's the problem, and that they're taking the drink and drugs to soothe the discomfort of the mental problem.
It's not weak-willed, you're not a weak person. This is actually a condition that's going on in your brain. And for whatever reason, you're now struggling in your life to deal with emotional stress. It's normally emotional stress, in other words, internal stress rather than external. Although, of course, external stress still stresses people out.
People might say use your willpower, but willpower don't work on anything. Everything. Try it on diarrhoea. It don't stop it. It don't work on everything in life. But if you've got a mental condition, and I think addiction should be seen as that now, that people have a mental problem. Who in their right mind behaves like that? There's something wrong with their mind. And we don't think it's the drugs causing it. We think the drugs are exacerbating it and making it worse. But essentially, the drugs are the solution to the problem, just a bad solution. We think the problem is a mental condition, that you're probably born potentially an alcoholic and addict. We kind of believe that everybody can recover if they're given good treatment and the right kind of treatment, and often we think that people aren't given the right kind of treatment. And so, for example, that we believe, in abstinence based, because like the peanut allergy, you can't kind of get somebody better if they keep eating peanuts. And we think that's the same with the allergic types. If they keep taking drugs of any kind, whether they're legal or illegal, it's not going to allow the brain to recover. And so that's why we totally believe that first you need to become abstinent, and then as your brain starts to recover, then through the programs and practices that we've learned, that your brain can then slowly start to redevelop the capacity to function in normal life. And so we offer like a substitute to say, look, if you allow us to take you on this process, we're kind of like the bridge from, being quite underdeveloped to cope with normal life, and probably not even having the tools to do that, to teaching you how to get from that place to being able to deal with normal life. And what happens in that bridge is the neural net starts to redevelop new ideas, and again that takes a bit of time. So that's when we say that we believe some people need a lot of treatment for a long time, and some people need a lot of treatment for a short period of time. We're all going to need a lot of treatment, and again I think that's where society's letting a lot of people down. I think it's absolutely key. We do, because it's kind of like, how important is the right environment to be a good plumber? That if you want to be a good plumber, you need to go to plumbing college. If you're just kind of bouncing around talking about plumbing, you're probably not going to develop the neural net to become a good plumber. We think that recovery is something that transfers from one brain to another. And so if that information isn't in the environment, then you're not going to recover.
Two forms of environment. You've got your external environment, and so again, one of the good things that any good treatment centre is going to try and do is going to try and create a really loving, caring environment for you to be able to feel that energy from the staff and the peers, everyone else around you, the whole environment, to just give you that whole energy to be able to recover. However, you've then got the internal environment, and this is what becomes very, very important. And again, we're underpinned by the 12-step program, and I know that itself comes along with so many kind of misunderstandings and misconceptions. but it's about trying to get people to understand, just like what Lester said, giving knowledge and understanding of what their internal environment has become. And when they start to see what their internal environment has become, they start to understand actually that they're a bigger part of the problem than they ever thought they were. But then with that revelation comes this, that now they are a bigger part of the solution than they ever thought they were. So they now feel empowered.